My child, I understand that in life there are moments when the world around you feels like a storm, and you find yourself adrift, uncertain of which way to turn. Your heart aches with confusion, and the weight of doubt bears down upon your spirit. In these moments you might feel lost, as though you've lost your direction, your purpose, or even your identity. But let me tell you this. You are never truly lost when you walk with me. I am the shepherd who guides you, even through the darkest valleys. Remember the words I spoke in the book of Psalms. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. Psalm 23, 1-3. When you feel lost, think of these words. I am your shepherd, and no matter how far you may think you've wandered, I will guide you back to still waters. You are not alone, and you will never be lost if you trust in my leading. There's a powerful lesson in the life of Abraham. When I called him to leave his home and travel to a land he did not know, he had no map, no GPS, no clear destination. All he had was faith in my word. He trusted me fully, and I led him to a land that I had promised to give him, despite the uncertainty and the fears that may have risen within him. He was not lost. He was being led. Sometimes feeling lost is simply a call to walk by faith, not by sight. It's in those moments that I ask you to trust in my plan, even when you cannot see the outcome. You may wonder, how can I trust fully when everything around me seems uncertain? This is where your faith becomes your anchor. Trusting in me means letting go of control and surrendering to the unknown. It is human nature to seek certainty and security. But remember, faith is not about knowing all the answers. It is about trusting the one who holds all the answers. In the book of Isaiah, I remind you, for my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. Isaiah 55, 8-9. I see the bigger picture, even when you can only see a small part of the puzzle. Psychologists and spiritual leaders alike agree that trust is one of the most vital components of human well-being. Research by the American Psychological Association suggests that trust plays a pivotal role in mental health, as it helps people navigate stress, uncertainty, and adversity. When we trust fully in God, we align ourselves with a peace that transcends human understanding. Even in times of struggle, that trust becomes the foundation upon which you can rebuild your confidence and hope. There are real-world examples of people who found strength in their trust in God during their darkest times. Take the story of Horatio Spafford, the composer of the famous hymn, It Is Well With My Soul. After suffering the tragic loss of his 4 daughters in a shipwreck, Spafford wrote this hymn, declaring his faith in God despite overwhelming loss. He chose not to succumb to despair, but instead, to trust that God was with him even in his pain. His trust in God became his anchor, just as my trust in you will be your anchor. When you feel lost, it is crucial to take a moment of reflection and find your center in me. Prayer is a powerful tool. The Bible reminds you in Philippians 4:6-7, do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. In your prayers, come to me with honesty. Lay before me your doubts, your worries, your confusion. I am not a distant God. I am near to you, listening to every word, every sigh. When you open your heart in prayer, you invite my presence into your situation. I will speak to you, not always with an audible voice, but in ways that resonate deeply within your spirit. I may guide you through Scripture, through the advice of a trusted friend, or through a sudden sense of clarity in your heart. Do not be afraid of silence in your prayers. Often, my still small voice speaks the loudest in the quiet moments. I am working, even when you cannot see it. Just as I was with the Apostle Paul when he faced hardships and uncertainty, I am with you. Remember, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope. Jeremiah 29:11. I am preparing you for a future far greater than you can imagine, even when the road seems unclear right now. My child, as you walk through life, you will encounter moments of doubt, fear, and confusion. These feelings are natural, but remember that they do not define you. What defines you is your relationship with me. You are my beloved, and I am always with you. When you feel lost, I will guide you back to the truth. My word is a lamp to your feet and a light to your path. Psalm 1:105. Take a moment to reflect on the story of the disciples who were caught in a storm on the Sea of Galilee. The wind howled, the waves crashed against their boat, and fear gripped their hearts. But I came to them, walking on water. I told them, "Take courage. It is I. Don't be afraid." When they saw me and trusted in me, the storm ceased. When you feel like the storms of life are overwhelming, remember that I am walking beside you, and I am calling you to step out in faith. Don't let fear keep you from walking toward me. Trusting me fully means letting go of the desire to control everything. I understand how difficult that can be. We live in a world that constantly demands answers, and it feels safer to cling to what we can control. But true peace comes when you surrender your will to mine. It is then that you will experience the divine guidance that leads you to a place of security and hope. Take the example of Joseph, whose life seemed to be one trial after another. Sold into slavery by his brothers, falsely accused and imprisoned, Joseph had every reason to feel lost and abandoned. Yet through it all, he trusted in me, and I turned his circumstances around. He rose to become a ruler in Egypt, saving many lives, including the lives of his brothers who once betrayed him. My child, I can take the broken pieces of your life and weave them together into a beautiful masterpiece if you trust me. Research from spiritual psychologists reveals that people who rely on faith in times of difficulty experience a profound sense of peace and clarity, even in the face of great uncertainty. One study showed that individuals who turned to their faith during difficult times reported lower levels of stress and a greater sense of purpose. This is because trusting in God allows you to see beyond the moment and trust in the bigger picture. You are not lost, my beloved. You are on a journey. There will be times when you don't understand, but I am asking you to trust me. I have a plan for your life, and it is good. Remember the words from Romans 8:28. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. Even in the times when you cannot see the good, trust that I am working on your behalf, even when it feels like the path is unclear. My child, as you continue your journey, know this. Your faith will be tested, but it will also grow stronger. Each challenge you face is an opportunity to trust me more deeply. I understand that you may feel the weight of uncertainty in your heart, But it is in these moments that you must remember, I am the God who never fails. I am the God who holds the stars in place and who watches over your every step. You are not alone in your struggle. When you feel lost, remember that I walk this earth too, and I understand the human experience. I experienced sorrow, loss, and temptation. I faced moments when I too felt as though I was walking through darkness, but I trusted in the Father's will. Even in the Garden of Gethsemane when I prayed, Father, if you are willing, take this cup from me, yet not my will, but yours be done. Luke 22:42. I showed you that surrendering to God's plan is the greatest act of trust. When you feel lost, surrender your heart to me, and I will lead you to peace. Trusting in me, my child, is about fully accepting that I am in control, even when the world around you feels like chaos. It's about knowing that the path I lead you on is filled with purpose, even if it's not always easy to understand. You don't need to have all the answers. You only need to have faith in the one who does. Think of the woman with the issue of blood, who had suffered for 12 long years without finding healing. She was desperate, lost in her own pain, yet she trusted that if she could only touch my garment, she would be healed. And she was. Her faith, her trust in me, was her breakthrough. Her trust in my ability to heal her made her whole. Matthew 9:20-22. When you feel lost and desperate, reach out in faith. Trust that I can meet you where you are and heal every part of your soul that is broken. The world teaches you to seek solutions on your own, to rely on your own strength and wisdom. But my child, I call you to lean on me in every situation. The more you trust in me, the more you will see how I move in your life. You may not always understand how I am working, but trust that I am always working on your behalf, even in the unseen. The very fact that you are reading these words, hearing my voice in your heart, is a sign that I am near to you, guiding you toward healing and wholeness. Research shows that people who surrender their worries and trust in something greater than themselves, whether that be God, a higher power, or a divine purpose, often experience a reduction in stress and anxiety. Trusting in God is not just a spiritual practice, it is also a mental and emotional one. It frees you from the burden of carrying your worries alone. The Bible tells you to cast all your anxiety on me because I care for you. 1 Peter 5:7. My love for you is constant and unwavering. When you trust in that love, you will feel the peace that passes all understanding. Even in the most difficult circumstances, trust in me will lead you to a place of peace. Just as I told my disciples, peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid. John 14:27. My peace is not like the peace the world offers. It is a peace that remains even when the storm rages. It is a peace that assures you that I am with you, that I have already overcome the world, and that you are never truly lost in my presence. Trusting in me also means trusting in the process of growth. I know that it can be difficult to see the light when you're in the midst of darkness, but you are always growing. Even in the times when it feels like you are standing still, I am working in your heart, shaping you to become more like me. Every challenge, every moment of feeling lost, is a moment where I am refining your faith, teaching you patience, and drawing you closer to my heart. Think of the process of refining gold. The gold must be placed in the fire, heated to a high temperature, to remove the impurities. It is uncomfortable, but it is necessary for the gold to become pure. Similarly, you may face challenges, but know that through them, I am refining your faith and making you stronger, purer, and more aligned with my will for your life. Trust the process, even when it feels hard, for I am with you every step of the way. My child, there is nothing more powerful than trusting in me. When you trust in my will, I will open doors that no one can shut, and I will make a way where there seems to be no way. I am the God of the impossible, and there is no situation too great for me to handle. Just as I parted the Red Sea for the Israelites, I will make a way for you. Trust in that, and watch as I move in your life. As you continue on this journey, know that I am here, always with you, guiding you, loving you, and protecting you. And when you feel lost, do not keep it to yourself. Reach out to others who may also be struggling. Share my words of encouragement, of peace, and of trust. Let them hear my voice through you. And my child, I ask you now to share this message with those who need to hear it. There are so many who feel lost, who are struggling to trust in me. You can be a vessel of hope for them. Share my voice with those around you. And if you haven't already, subscribe to God's sacred voice, so you can continue to hear my words of wisdom, peace, and guidance. You are not alone. I am with you, and I will never leave you or forsake you. Always trust in me, and I will lead you to a place of peace, purpose, and blessing.